This time really concentrate, okay? Concentrate only on God, enlightenment, deeper level of consciousness and happiness. Because the deeper you go, the more you're happy, the more enlightened, and the more intelligent, the more blissful. And then you can deal with all kind of problem, if any problem. Otherwise, we just concentrate on problem. Then we are right at the problem level. And we could never see it better from above. Then not only you cannot solve this problem, you delay your own spiritual progress and deny yourself of spiritual power. Then you lose both. You lose the problem-solving solution and you lose spiritual elevation. Okay. Everything you can benefit from looking at me or thinking of me. It's not this me physical, yeah?
I always afraid of ego.
Ego?
Ego, yes. Always afraid. It happens to me very often. And I really want to wake up myself. It's ego, it's not, it makes you fall down. Be careful. And it's very, very difficult to know what is it. Am I have an ego or not? And I saw it happens, lots of my sisters and brothers, the ego falling them down. It's very difficult. And I want to ask you, please, Master, again, how can we protect us from ego, please, Master?
Maybe I go ask God. It's very difficult. Because this world contaminates you, okay? Everybody encourages you. You have to be big, you have to be better than everybody else, and then it's like a competition all the time. So you train yourself to have such a spirit, and it become ego. With practice and with the world's lessons, you will be better. Like the world will teach you how to be humble. And then you will know it. Otherwise, like if you work with someone, or if you work with the master, and then they scold you all the time, or they always point out your fault, then slowly your ego also come down. But the more ego come down, the spiritual come up. Yeah, too much garbage collected in here. It's not your fault. None of you has ever done anything wrong. It's not your fault. Even if I reprimand you for that, or telling you that is bad and all that, but still, it's not your fault. If you're not born in this world, you would have never done anything wrong like that. Nothing you could do in heaven that is wrong, okay? Also, before you're born here, sometimes you pick up some of the wrong things so that you can be born here. If you're perfect, you cannot. The master don't have to carry that to come down because the master come down here and pick up garbage from everybody, so she didn't have to pick up any garbage to bring down with. Yeah, but for ordinary being, you must have something to come down. It's not unconditional. That's why I say being born in a human body is very difficult. It's a very rare chance to be a human. And even then, they make you pick up some garbage to bring it down. So that you have to train to struggle. And that's what we call ego. It's not your fault to begin with. Yeah, and try to ignore it. When you know if it's your ego rise its head up, then you ignore it. You say, no, that's not right. Then you change for what you think is right, okay? Or swallow your pride. If you know you're wrong, just apologize. If you know it's not the correct way, then try to do the correct one again, okay? Always try, vigilant. That's all we can do. Because the ego is born with us so that we make trouble, so that we go into the wrong way, so that we mess up our life. That's the purpose. Delusion, ego. Okay? Don't worry about it. Everybody has it. Ask him, do you have any ego? Mucho ego. Yes, you don't just have ego and mistake. You see, you have also good things with you. You have the 5 precepts, you eat vegetarian, you meditate. Maybe ego is just one little part, okay? And try to subdue it or ignore it. It's a difficult question, difficult to do this. Even the 5th level saint, if you reach a 5th level of spiritual consciousness, you still have 1% ego.
I want to erase it.
No, not on the 5th level. You still have 1%. When you go much higher, like border the 6th level, then maybe you have no more. That's why you stay in the 5th level downward. Because human beings, they carry things with them. Even the 5th level, you still have 1% ego. That's a lot. Yeah, 1% is a lot. Yeah, why? Because 0% is better.
But this level is such a honor.
Yeah, you will go there sooner or later.
Sure.
Correct. What is it?
I always believe that I can erase that ego,
Yes?
like until 0%.
Sure can. It's crazy. But yes, we can. Yeah? Okay. No, not like 1% completely in the 5th level, but some residue is still there. Yeah? It's just the mechanism of the 5 worlds, Everybody has ego. Otherwise, nobody want to do anything. If you don't have ego, you will not want to go to work, you not want to earn money, you not want to look good, you not bother to wear this clothes better than the other one, thing like that, okay? It's just a driving motion, driving force, so that we continue to live in this life. If you don't have the ego, you don't even want to live anymore. Not because you're depressed, not because you don't feel good about life, it's just driving force. You have no motive. Okay? Yeah. You don't want to compete in sport, you don't want to know more about wisdom, you don't want to do anything. It's a driving motor for our life. Okay? So keep it until 5th level. And then over there, you don't need it, you can also discard. After you reach it, you can do with ego or not ego. You can keep it or not. Okay? Right now, still need. Yeah. Like the engine of the car is noisy and is oily, and if you touch it.
Most of the masters do not advocate supernatural power for fearing that we attach ourselves too much to the spiritual materialism. And therefore, we have not the interest and the strength enough to go further into a higher realms of realization. In India, there was a story about a king. He was a very good king and loving to his subject. Now, one day, he arranged that all his possessions, treasures, will be given to the people at large. Whoever needs anything can just come and satisfy him or herself at the exhibition without any condition at all. Because he has no children and no family ties, so he loved his people as his own. Everyone came and picked something of his heart's desire. But there was one girl. She came and goes straight to the back of the, probably the room or the place where the king exhibited all his possession, and put her hand on his shoulders and asked, "Are you also available?" And the king was surprised. Say, "Why? Didn't you like any of the things that I have laid outside?" So the girl said, "No, I only like you." So, and then of course the king was very happy that somebody liked him for himself alone and not because of his treasures. Of course, then the king availed to her, and then they got married, something like that. Live happily ever after, as we should be. And you know what happened? The girl did not want anything, but the whole nation belonged to her, including all these subjects and all these objects. Therefore, in our path, we also do not advocate the miracle power. Doesn't mean we don't have. After the great enlightenment, or even small enlightenment, we have all the powers that we want. But then we will have so much that we don't even know how much power we have. Instead of clinging to a corner of the house, we have the whole house and included that corner. Some people, before coming to learn this immediate enlightenment method of the heavenly light and sound, they have also tried to practice in many other meditational ways. And they have also achieved probably somewhat of the Siddhi's power, or the power of seeing very far away, or hearing something which is not in the vicinity. For example, I sit here and I can see what happened in London, or I can hear what happened in Paris. Yes, this is so-called Siddhi powers. Or probably we can read the other people's mind, see what he's thinking about us. Yeah. Wow, this is probably good for the spy, for the people who are doing 007 or something like that. But then after they have become initiated into our path, and somehow they lost these powers. Or maybe they have seen some better things or know better knowledge that they have begged the Master to take away this Siddhi's power from them. There were two reasons for this. First, probably they've gone too high, higher than the Siddhi power level. So they have overlooked the previous miracle that they have possessed. The second reason why they have not lost this power and begged the Master to take them away, it is because they probably still cling to this power somewhat in their mind. And so the Master let them have the choice to forsake it themselves or not. Because after you have gone into a little bit further region of consciousness, a higher level of being, then you will feel that these Siddhis, so-called power, are more hindrance than help to our spiritual progress. Therefore, we automatically do not want to use them. Suppose you sit here in samadhi, in a very tranquil state of mind, where you are in a super awareness of your true self, and you have no desire absolutely for heaven and earth. And then you see something happen in London, which is very gruesome. And then you can't do nothing about it. Would that make you feel comfortable? No, not really, right, you're correct. Yeah, you feel more frustrated, and then you get more upset. And you have tried to attain the state of peace of mind, and here you are, feeling very frustrated and miserable about somewhere else's condition, of which you cannot do absolutely anything at all. Or maybe you see to somebody else's heart or mind, or you see into your wife's heart and see that she's loving the neighbors and not you. And then could that be helpful when you're sitting in meditation? No. And suppose somebody bearing a lot of hatred against us, and then we have the power to penetrate his mind. That would be a very uncomfortable feeling for both. Because most of the people have sometimes very uncontrollable feeling uncontrollable emotion within themselves, which might or might not have nothing to do with them. And if we get to know all these things, it's only useless. And then we always worry about this mundane level, and we can never get into the beyond in order to merge ourselves in the greatest wisdom. There are a lot of spiritual happenings in our century, and therefore it is good for us, very good for our people in this age, to know so much about the superpower within ourselves. But sometimes it also confuses us as to follow which direction, because mostly we will be tempted by the so-called immediate result, like a miraculous power or healing ability, and seeing through the walls, or walking in the space, etc. That we forgot what is the main purpose of practicing meditation or getting to know spirituality at all. It shouldn't be really. Because when we know our true self, the supreme wisdom inside, we will know everything. That, I think, is the best measurement, the best standard to judge which path we should concentrate on. Therefore, Jesus also says, "Seek you first the kingdom of God, and all other things shall be added unto you." The kingdom of God is not something that is very far away in heaven. It is here right now. And we have them all within ourselves. We only have to unlock it and use it every day. And then we will see how better a person we become, how wise, how loving, and how satisfied a person we will become.